Crooked grinds, or K-grinds, are one of my favorite skateboard tricks. And everyone knows, even Wikipedia, that Eric Koston created them, right? Well, Eric Koston actually wasn't the first person to land the trick. So who was, and how did they get to be so linked with Koston? Let's take a look. So, real quick, a crooked grind is an angled nose grind where the nose is also sliding. I made a trick tip for it about 6 years ago if you want to learn more about the trick itself and how it works. Crooked grinds are one of the most popular skateboarding tricks these days, but where did it come from? We can get a little insight from a Transworld article. Back in 1991, Wade Speyer did the first recorded trick at the Hubba Hideout, a backside nose grind. Let's take a look at it. It's kind of angled, although the nose isn't locked in like a regular crooked grind. The article has a pretty interesting footnote though. It says, way back in 1991, Wade's crooked grind was actually called a nose grind. Shortly thereafter, Dan Paterka coined tweaked, crooked nose grinds as the crooked grind. People also called them K-grinds because Koston made them largely popular too. For simplicity's sake, let's call Wade's a trick for the record books. So, does this count as a crooks? Yeah, I would say so, but only retroactively. That wasn't a thing at the time. And the interesting thing to notice is that he was probably going for a nose grind, but since the ledge is so high, he didn't really have time to straighten out in the air. So, who's the first person to do what we would call a crooked grind? There's really no way to know. For example, does this count? This is from Shackle Me Not, the H Street video from 1988. At this point, their boards didn't even have noses yet. So this is actually a switch, slappy crooked grind, or a fakey crooked 5-0. I'm not sure what they would have called it back then. And this is a montage, so I'm not even sure who it is. Maybe Jeff Pettit. But that Transworld article, and also Danny Gonzalez, who was writing for Jenkem magazine, they give credit to Dan Paterka for the name crooked grind. He also seems to be the first guy who started doing them clearly on purpose, locking into them instead of just doing a nose grind that floats around a little bit. And here he is in the H Street video Next Generation, doing a couple different variations. At this point, it's pretty clear that Koston wasn't involved in inventing the trick, because his first video part wasn't even out for another year. Maybe he was one of the first guys doing it, but there's no way he invented it. So why does his name keep getting thrown around as the inventor? Well, the Transworld article pins it when it says that he made them more popular. You see, Dan Paterka fell out of pro skateboarding pretty soon after that video clip from earlier. His sponsor, H Street, they closed, and he switched focus to pursue pro snowboarding instead. So he wasn't really around long enough to make the trick famous. Now Eric Koston, he hit the scene around 1992, and he actually had 3 video parts that year. Here he is doing some crooked grind variations from those. And not too long after he came out, he started getting hugely popular in ads, videos, contests, magazines, everything. And crooked grinds were one of the tricks he started to do. All eyes were on him, and he was doing a new trick, so people started calling them K-grinds. As far as I know, he never took credit for them, and people from the scene back then knew he didn't create them. But over time, details like this can get a little fuzzy. Dan Paterka isn't a household name for skaters, but he still deserves the credit for this trick. Well, that's all for this time. What other tricks would you like to see me cover next? Let me know in the comments. Until then, here are some more recent videos like this that you might enjoy. If you liked the video, hit the like button below and subscribe to see new skateboarding content like this every single Tuesday. Thanks for watching.